Secure your Florida dream home today. With the Avenue, you could be on the road to home ownership. For only $2.99, book your round trip ticket to fly and check out the property you like. Price includes accommodation and meals. You've got the questions, we've got the answers. Call Owen Langott, your licensed real estate broker, 917-751-1792. 917-751-1792. It's Florida's hottest real estate market.
Restaurant in the whole of New York.
Best food you get a cool running.
Restaurant never empty. Restaurant come. Yes.
Best food you get a
Well,
cool running.
things the wrong way. Food well seasoned up. It tastes properly. Runnings are wrong things the wrong way. Well seasoned up. It tastes properly. In time the DJ a touch a New York. Ranger fi pull up. Ranger fi park. Have to get a food before the food a sell out. Watch it. Make me coat me knife and fork. Cool Runnings it a the one pan the chart. No restaurant can get we off. Yes, Cool Runnings are the best restaurant in the world.
Located at 1802 Nerine Avenue, Bronx, New York. Come check out our oxtail, curry goat, stew peas, red pea soup, steamed fish, ackee and saltfish, hominy corn, cornmeal porridge, seafood soup, and many more. Come check it out now. Yes, the food nice.
Your investment. Where? In the Sunshine State of Florida. Secure your Florida dream home today with Vision World Realty, 102-28 Jamaica Avenue, Richmond Hill, New York. With as little as $2,990 deposit, plus with a small monthly payment, you could be on the road to home ownership. For only $2.99, book your round trip ticket to fly and check out the property you like. Price includes accommodation and meals. You've got the questions, we've got the answers. Call Owen Langott, your licensed real estate broker, 917-751-1792. 917-751-1792. It's Florida's hottest real estate market. And I think right about now, you know, I like to make my entry at this point. 18 minutes after 5 o'clock. Good afternoon, everyone. Everybody, somebody, one person, two people, several people, a whole lot of people. Good afternoon. How are you? How are you? How was your weekend? What did you do? Where did you go? Who did you see? What pranks you got up to? Who played a prank on you? Welcome to the show. Inside the zone, inside the zone, inside the zone. With yours truly, Lady D, Denise Gomez. Blessings, everybody. It's a good day. It's Cold Monday. Here on Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7. Sign FM 88.9. Fever FM 97.7. Across the world, www.linkageradio.com. Linkage Radio on your stream. Linkage Radio on the Linkage Radio app. Appy. 20 minutes after 5. 914-600-4228. Log on to Inside the Zone with Lady D on YouTube. Inside the Zone with Lady, the initial D. Not D-E-E, but the letter D for Denise. Catch me live now on YouTube. Welcome, everybody. It's a beautiful Monday. And we got a break in the weather, so it has not been that hot. It's a little warm today, but not excessively, right? Hey to all my lovely people. My yam lady. Ah, yam lady. Hey to Gloria and to Patricia. Hey, Eddie. Mr. Francis, listener of the month. Eddie, I'm waiting to see a picture of your plaque or something, some memorabilia. And of course, it is going to be a good afternoon. I got music, the Monday beat, Chasing the Monday Blues out of here coming up in a few minutes. Always dancing, always dancing. Then I have Voices as always with Faye Ellington and Road to Festival 2018 at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. We have Keeping You in the Know with news, happenings, and facts with Chris Welby and yours truly, Lady D. A whole lot of immigration stuff going on. And I don't know. It's just news, and more news. 22 minutes after 5. Pulling it down nice and easy because I'm now literally jumping over to the Monday beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here. Wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, why you're doing it, were you told to do it, is a matter of choice. I don't know, but whatever it is, I wish you well today because the day is slowly winding down and you and I are still here. Once again, my connecting partners, Spice International Gospel Network, Sign FM 88.9, and Uncle Howie Radio 97.7. This is your budding and buzzing station, Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7 FM. Are you ready to chase the Monday blues out of here with me? Let's go.
The whispers in the morning of lovers sleeping tight, all rolling like the thunder now. As I look in your eyes, I hold on to your body and feel each move you make. Your voice is warm and tender, a love that I could not forsake. 'Cause You are my lady. I am your man. Whenever you reach for me, I'll do all that I can. Lost is how I'm feeling, lying in your arms. When the world outside's too much to take, that's all ends when I'm with you. Even though there may be time, it seems I'm far away. Never wonder where I am, 'cause I'm always by your side. You are my lady. I am your man. Whenever you reach for me, I'll do all that I can. We're heading for something, somewhere I've never been. At times I am fighting, but I'm ready to learn for the power of love. Mm-hmm. The sound of your heart beating, you feel it move your man. There's a feeling that I can't hold on. It's like years away. Ooh, you are my lady, and I am your man. Whenever you reach for me, I do all that I can. We're heading for something, somewhere I've never been. Mm-hmm. At times I am frightened, but I'm ready to learn for the power of love. Ooh, the power of love.
What's the use of sharing this one and only life? Ending up just another lost and lonely wife. You count up the years, and they will be filled with tears. Love won't embrace us, start all over again. You'll get the babies, but you won't have your man. While he's busy loving everyone that he can. Ah, yeah. Say it down and leave 100 times a day. It's easy said than done when you just can't break away. Just can't break away. Ooh, your heart run free. Never be hung up on another man. My man. Oh, your heart, yourself be true. Don't be no fool when love really don't love you. Who wants to live in trouble and strife? My mind must be free to learn all I can about me. I'm gonna love me the rest of my days. Encourage the baby every time they say self-preservation is what's really going on today. Ah, yeah. Saying I'm tender 1,000 times a day. It's easy said than done. When you just can't break away. You just can't break away. Young heart, run free. Never be alone. Yourself be true. Don't be no fool. Love forever, don't love you. It don't love you. Ooh, young heart, run free. Never be alone. For the life of me, I never thought that it could be the way it stands right now. Emotions running high. Every night I wish that I could tell you how I feel. Those words I hear in my heart. Oh, but there is just one missing part. How to put it together, how to say it right, and let you know that every night I'll be dreaming, dreaming, hoping, baby, you will be there. I'll be dreaming, dreaming, hoping, baby, you will be there. Let me take time out to try and find out if this could be real. This reality scares me. I've been living a fantasy. How should I feel? Those words are here in my heart. Oh, but there is just one missing part. How to put it together, how to say it right, and let you know that every night I'll be dreaming, dreaming, hoping, baby, you will be there. I'll be dreaming, dreaming, hoping, baby, you will be there. You will be keep on dreaming about you every night. I'll be dreaming.
Yeah, that's the voice of Vanessa Williams for you. What an afternoon of music here on the show, Inside the Zone with Lady D, the Monday beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here, wrapping up the segment right now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Inside the Zone with yours truly, Lady D. Linkage Radio 104.5. 101.7, 88.9, 97.7. The show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 718-324-7484, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Have you stopped by Cooler Runnings? Ever since you've heard me advertising here on the show, today is Monday. Stop by and purchase your idol stew, your jerk chicken, or your tripe and bean. 718-324-7484. World Vision World Realty, 917-751-1792. Florida's hottest real estate market. Ask why now. Ask why this area, the Sunshine State of Florida. Owen Langot, 917-751-1792. Good afternoon to everyone, 5:36 p.m. It is now time for Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. Janet Williams.
You know, we have so many Windsors in Jamaica. No wonder I made that error just now before we went to break. Because there's Windsor, there's Windsor Forest, there's Windsor Castle. There's just so much of that in Jamaica. My guest is Janet A. Williams, and she's sharing about her life. You went to the Karen Hall All Age.
Right.
What did you do when you were at school in terms of extracurricular activities?
Well, at that time, we didn't really have extracurricular activities of such. What we had at Karen Hall was the 4-H club, and I was a part of that. So we were taught to do so many things, including when you'd cut like cocoa, and then you'd use that and you dip that in ink, and you do this decorative thing on different pieces of
Calico,
fabric,
etc.
calico, and then you were encouraged to have your own garden, which was a competition in the community. So everybody, as a matter of fact, most homes in which there was a girl living or girls living, there was a garden. So there was that competition within the community and at school as well.
What flowers you grew then?
Well, have Joseph Court, name it, any dandelion type, periwinkle, all the different flowers that you could think. As a matter of fact, I should tell you, and this is not something I'm proud about, if you went anywhere and you saw any flower in anybody's yard that you liked, and you asked and they didn't give it to you, you found a way to get it.
Yes, creative and innovative.
Yes. And you'd get that and you'd put that in your garden, and then the competition, and then you'd go around and your teachers would look at it and say, okay, look, you didn't get any prize for it, but it's just the idea that the best garden is up by Miss Jem, which is us at our mommy's house, which is where we live, or at Jan. And you really felt good because you had something different and you planted, whether in X pattern or Z pattern or O pattern, and different pattern in terms of letters of the alphabet, depending on what best you could create out of that.
There's a story with Mr. Hammy. What was that?
At that time, no, I'd finished high school and was to go into college. And I should tell you,
you're still living in the same area.
You were still living in the same area.
Mr. Hammy's from the area.
Mr. Hammy's from the area. And I always wanted to do media or law. My mom could not afford it. So the next option was Teachers College. I'm an educator today.
That's a snippet there of an interview with Janet Williams. And here's another one.
In the part one, you'd mentioned.
This is Joan Davis.
Dago High School on a half scholarship.
Yes.
And I think you were alluding that you had to be done to get a half scholarship.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what people thought.
Mm-hmm.
How you
A,
managed
B,
that?
C, D, I was in D stream, D as in donkey. So we were given the cookery, the needlework, the health science, and the woodwork and so on. I remember when I was in third form, a specific teacher chased me from her class and told me that I needed to go and sew baby clothes because we'll need it. I didn't know what she was alluding to. So I went with some other friends and we made an ass of ourselves for quite a while. And then we realized that needlework is important. and we did it. And then I fell in love with my food and nutrition teacher, Mrs. Flossie Wallace. And that woman taught me food and nutrition, and I just wanted to be like her. And Faye, I am a trained home economist. That's my base. And I'm glad that they thought I was done, because you have to be brilliant to use your brains and your hands together. But many persons don't understand that. And I was in this D stream right up to 5D. And Mrs. Wallace, I remember we started doing food and nutrition in third form. And I couldn't afford some ingredients one week. Because the other weeks before that, I would, if it's chicken, Mama would give me the little piece of the little leg, the wing, and I would take it to school. And once we took something for practice, that was what Mrs. Wallace was concerned about. So it don't have to be a pound of chicken. If it's even one part of the tip of the wing, she's happy. But that week I couldn't afford 2 pounds of mince to make surprise meatloaf. And she said to me, take your things. So I went to her and I told her, and I said, Miss, this is my first practical that I would miss. I was in grade 11, I think, fifth form. And she said to me, Davis, girl, take your apron and everything to class. And when I took my apron and everything to class, Mrs. Wallace handed me on a tray all the ingredients for my practical. And my mother teach me, son, anybody give you nothing, you must really give them back. If it's a loan, give it back. So I prepared my meatloaf with surprise meatloaf with a boiled egg inside and cut and sauce running off it. And I took it on a tray and I presented it to be graded, and she graded my meatloaf. And I covered it and took it back to her. And I said, thank you, Miss. And she said to me, Davis, girl, take it home for your family. That woman, she has helped me to be the kind of teacher I am with my students now. Yes, I never missed a class. And I love her. She's still alive. She lives in Spanish Town. Yes.
Boy, these people have such stories to share. I'm always in awe of how they excel.
Hard work.
How they excel. Seriously. Because out of nothing, and they talk about their moms a lot, which tells me that, there are women who, even though they are going through extreme and adverse poverty, they taught their children about how to respect themselves, how to build character, And I'm really, really touched. 5:42 p.m. Welcome back to the show, everybody. That was Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. Welcome back to Inside the Zone with Lady D. It's a Monday. What do we do on a Monday? I take you through a few selections of the journey in Jamaica concerning the JCDC festival finalists. And I have a few selections for you this afternoon. And then at 6 o'clock, I'll be getting into my segment alongside Chris Wilby, keeping you in the know. Welcome, music. It's a day of music and information just for you.
With God, we are stronger. We will not go under. It's our time to shine.
We've been on as a young independent nation. We've been through some tough situation, but we never stay down for long. How we live Jamaican, and we are strong. We've experienced some life that will hurt or change this life. We are strong Jamaican. No bumps and goes, but still have got through with the Lord. We are strong Jamaican. We've been on as a young independent nation. We've been through some tough situation, but we never stay down for long. How we live Jamaican, and we are strong. I can imagine the look on their face when them see that we still in the race. We are strong Jamaican.
Them expect to find we same place, but we never wanna keep up with the pace. We are strong Jamaican.
We've been on as a young independent nation. We've been through some tough situation, but we never stay down for long. How we live Jamaican, and we
strong. Listen me. Striving for better, heading to the top.
Strong, now we growing up, we now look back.
Now make crime wipe, we have them up.
Strong, now we growing up, we now look back.
Yeah, come together and the violence will stop.
Strong, now we growing up, we now look back.
What me say? Future bright, the whole world sit down.
Strong, now we growing up, we now look back.
Eternal Father, bless our land. Please deliver us from corruption. We are strong, strong Jamaicans. Out of many, one in your name, and the gates of hell shall not prevail. We are strong, strong Jamaicans.
Jamaica will under God increase in beauty, fellowship and prosperity, advancing the whole human race. Investors will increase, students will stand up, athletes will arise. Peace and love, justice for all.
Through some tough situation, but we never stay down. We love, how we get Jamaican, and we are strong.
Oh yeah,
and we are strong Jamaican,
Stronger than ever.
and we are strong.
Jamaica strong,
And we are strong Jamaican,
don't you ever give
and
up.
we are strong.
We are the
And we are strong Jamaican, and we are strong.
That's Strong Jamaican for you. Escarpment Road, a New Testament Church of God choir in Jamaica.
Yeah, man. Island in the sun, you know. I love you, Jamaica. Hey. And Jamaica's made me proud to call this little island my home. Our people are great and so is our food. My heart is here no matter where I roam. I love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. We no want no negative data. I love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. We no want no negative data. Hey. Oh, I land in the sun from Negril Point to Morant Bay. Your beauty spreads across the land, calling us to a brighter day. I love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. We no want no negative data. I love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. We no want no negative data. So rise, Jamaica, rise. Our nation must be restored. Rise, Jamaica, rise. We must again be adored. Coffee, banana, grapefruit, apple, curry goes 2 piece, run down and barley. Old and Shaggy, Shelly and Nanny, Manley, Garvey, Marley promote me. I love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. We no want no negative data. I love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. Miss and I love Jamaica. We no want no negative data. Yeah, man. Island in the sun, you know. Out of many, we are one. If you love Jamaica, we have no hand. Yeah. I love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. Yes, I do. I love Jamaica. We no want no negative data. I love Jamaica. say me love Jamaica. We no want no negative data.
Jamaica, 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 Jamaica. The type of Jamaica we have, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we have. With the bang 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 type of Jamaica we have, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we have. We want a righteous Jamaica, want a loving Jamaica, want a peaceful Jamaica, want a crime-free Jamaica, and we want the nicest Jamaica, and the brightest Jamaica, want the richest Jamaica, and the fittest Jamaica. But the type of Jamaica we have, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we want. And the type of Jamaica we have, the bang 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 type of Jamaica we have. And the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we have. Crime only mash up Jamaica, injustice a mash up Jamaica, corruption a mash up Jamaica, partiality a mash up Jamaica. Unity below Jamaica, good morality below Jamaica, honesty below Jamaica, integrity below Jamaica. But the type of Jamaica we have, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we have. Put a bang 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 type of Jamaica we have, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we want. And the type of Jamaica we have.
Jamaica,
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 Jamaica.
this is Jamaica,
This is Jamaica,
my sweet Jamaica,
my sweet Jamaica.
give me back Jamaica,
Give me back Jamaica.
the land of peace and love.
The type of Jamaica we have, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we have. Put a bang 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 type of Jamaica we have, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we have. We say no sell out Jamaica, we say no lease out Jamaica, we say no trust out Jamaica, we say no give out Jamaica. Now we want to live in Jamaica, raise families in Jamaica, do business in Jamaica, and enjoy the sweet in Jamaica.
Jamaica,
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 Jamaica.
this is Jamaica,
This is Jamaica,
my sweet Jamaica,
my sweet Jamaica.
give me back Jamaica,
Give me back Jamaica.
the land of peace and love.
The type of Jamaica we have, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we have. The bang 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 type of Jamaica we have, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we have. The type of Jamaica we have, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we want, and the type of Jamaica we have.
On the road to Festival 2018 in Jamaica. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, inside the zone with Lady D Monday. And it is a wonderful Monday, isn't it? The Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. And man, are we going to be keeping you in the know from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. with news headlines hot off the press. If you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. Set your watches and your clocks. 5:55 p.m. Brought to you by... It's an investment, your investment. Where? In the Sunshine State of Florida. Secure your Florida dream home today with Vision World Realty, 102-28 Jamaica Avenue, Richmond Hill, New York. With as little as $2,990 deposit, plus with a small monthly payment, you could be on the road to home ownership. For only $299, book your round trip ticket to fly and check out the property you like. Price includes accommodation and meals. You've got the questions, we've got the answers. Call Owen Langott, your licensed real estate broker, 917-751-1792. 917-751-1792. It's Florida's hottest real estate market.
Whole one is restaurant. Best restaurant in the whole of New York.
Best food you get a cool running.
Restaurant never empty. Restaurant come. Yes.
Best food you get a
Well,
cool
cool
running.
runnings run things. Things the wrong way. Food well seasoned up. It tastes properly. Runnings are run things. Things the wrong way. Well seasoned up. It tastes properly. In time the DJ a touch a New York. Range of it pull up. Range of it park. Have to get a food before the food a sell out. Watch it. Let me cut me knife and fork. Cool runnings it are the one pan the chart. No restaurant can get way off. Yes, Cool Runnings are the best restaurants in the world.
Located at 1802 Nereid Avenue, Bronx, New York. Come check out our oxtail, curry goat, stew peas, red pea soup, steamed fish, ackee and starfish, hominy corn, cornmeal porridge, seafood soup, and many more. Come check it out now. Yasso Food Nice.
Yeah, Yasso Food Nice. I like that. Of course, Cooler Runnings, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx, and Vision World Realty, 102-28 Jamaica Avenue, Richmond Hill, New York. All right, ladies and gentlemen, merging up. We have 3 minutes to go to 6 o'clock. And as you know, Fun in the Sun, man, are we busy with Fun in the Sun. Oh my gosh, I'm almost sleeping it. Fun in the Sun, Fun in the Sun, Fun in the Sun. Saturday, August 4 at Evander Charles Football Field, 800 East Gun Hill Road in the Bronx. And we are becoming a household name. We are fast becoming a household name. Good afternoon.
Pleasant good afternoon to you, Lady D. How are you?
Well, hello to you, Miss Patricia.
I am good. I'm good. And good evening to all the radio listeners. It's a beautiful day out there.
It is, absolutely. A little bit warmer, but we're not complaining.
Awesome. Yes. My timing was so very off. Just as I was dialing you, the commercial came on. I said, oh, wow.
That. I saw
Calling Lady D, I was calling. Yeah, but the timing was just not right.
Yes.
Yeah, just calling to check in. Oh, I love that introduction. This evening, the medley of music that you played.
Thank
first
you.
One. You're my lady. Oh,
yes.
Wow. Awesome track.
Thank you.
Wow.
I said, let me mix it up a little bit.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
But without any further ado, I'm going to let you go because I know it's almost that time, 6 o'clock. So
Yes.
I am listening as usual, okay?
All right. And you know you're going to be calling with your input.
Yes, definitely. Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, as I was saying, Eddie James is going to be at Fun in the Sun. Eddie, I saw him yesterday and we've got a chance. He was at Bronx Bethany Church of the Nazarene yesterday. We got a little bit of him and we were able to get a nice little drop from him, and we posted it to say he's going to be there and it's going to be an open heaven. I loved that. All right. So where am I? Get it together, Lady D. Get it together here. Who is in my background? Okay, here we go. So welcome back. You're just joining me. Want to say hello to Sign FM 88.9 and Uncle Howie Radio 97.7. Hello to everyone. You are an avid listener of Linkage Radio and the show Inside the Zone. I welcome you this afternoon, 104.5, 101.7. And reminding you the telephone number to call the station, 914-600-4228. 914-600-4228. Reminding you, I'm also live on YouTube. So if you have your phone, go on to YouTube and just type Inside the Zone with Lady D, the letter D. And there I will be. And you just pop up and I will just talk to you. Okay.
Inside the zone with
Mhm.
Lady D.
I'm hearing myself in the background
There I
here.
will be. And you just pop up
Okay.
and I will
Okay.
just talk to you.
Hello. Hello.
Lady D.
All right. Somebody was busy there listening, and then I'm hearing myself. It's interesting when you hear yourself, you know. Whenever I hear myself, I'm like, oh Lord. Okay, so 6 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. As I was saying, Fun in the Sun is fast approaching here in New York on Saturday, August 4th, and we are looking forward to having you join us. We start at 10 a.m. with the Kids Village, and the Kids Village will be closely monitored by several persons, and we don't want you to miss out on not having your children there. In addition to that, you are also required to stay at the location. We are not going to be babysitting your children. You can be there, they can be playing around, having a good time, but we're not going to be babysitting your children. In previous events, we've had to be calling almost calling, 911, because we're saying children are being taken up on the stage, and we have to be making public service announcement. But I have to stress that when you come to the event, you're going to stay there with your children. But we have bouncy house for them. There are 2 child authors there. We have snow cone, we have cotton candy, we have games for them, and it will be interactive. We're looking forward to having you. I would like to jump over to the line and say welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good afternoon, Lady D. How are you, madam?
Welcome, sir. It is indeed a glorious day here, wouldn't you
It
say?
is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. And I'm going to boast on my beautiful Cape Cod, right?
Well, I was just about to say that I saw the post and I said, watch him, or I'm gone back.
I tell you,
I think you're
people are
moving.
lashing me left, right, and center. Oh, I'm just a show off.
True.
So there's when you have it, you just have to flaunt it,
Yes, Massa. And, we can just stay in our little bad mind corner.
Exactly. Well, you know what? You can come on down, Cape Cod is beautiful this time of year, so you can all come on down and visit. It is a tourist destination. So I'll take you around and I'll show you around. How about that?
Absolutely. Looking forward. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts here on Inside the Zone with Lady D's The Monday Drive. Alongside Chris will be Caribbean Vibes Radio. And we have so much to talk about. I don't know. We're going to read the news and then we just do what we do every week. The one that pops out the most, that's where we're going to go. So right now, okay. Welcome everybody. I hear that. Welcome everybody. It is now time for keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts.
10 p.m. we have the most Jamaican flavors. Grape nut, pistachio grape nut, rum and
Headlines this afternoon: local, regional, international. Okay, Chris?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we ready to go?
Ready.
All right, so let's start off. I thank you so much, Chris, for being my backup. Can I tell you?
That's what we're here for, right?
The rest is history. We don't need to say anything else.
Exactly. No problem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our first headline for the afternoon. Kim Jong-un's private plane flew to Russia. Flight data show. I mean, everything makes it to the headline. July 9th, a private North Korean plane belonging to Kim Jong-un was seen flying to Vladivostok, Russia, and back, according to data from Flight Radar 24. North Korean Air Force One, also known as Shame-1, is a modified Soviet jetliner, Ilyushin Tu-62M aircraft. The plane was captured on radar on Monday, making the trip to Russian Far East and returning to North Korea the same day after 3 hours, South Korean news agency Yonhap reported. There is speculation in Seoul the plane was carrying a North Korean working group to Vladivostok ahead of the Eastern Economic Forum to be held in September, according to the report. Russia has invited Kim to attend the forum, where President Vladimir Putin, as well as Japan's Shinzo Abe and South Korea's Moon Jae-in, would be in attendance. The North Korean leader has yet to respond to the invitations, but last month, Kim sent a Korean Workers' Party delegation to the Russian Far East, possibly in anticipation of closer ties with Moscow. E-Daily reported Monday's North Korea's national carrier, Air Koryo, operates regular flights between Pyongyang and Vladivostok, and the charter plane was a special flight that drew the attention of monitors. North Korea's recent round of negotiations with the United States ended with harsh words from Pyongyang regarding U.S. demands for denuclearization, and it's likely Kim looking toward allies like Russia for support. And the headline continues. So,
okay. All right. So Trump faces backlash after his tweet about Thai cave rescue. After President Trump is facing backlash after posting a message about the youth soccer team trapped in a cave in Thailand. The U.S. is working very closely with the government of Thailand to help get all of the children out of the cave to safety, he tweeted Sunday morning. Very brave and talented people. While Trump did not specify how the U.S. was involved, the Air Force Times reported days prior that 36 U.S. troops stationed in Japan, including a search and rescue team, had been sent to assist in the cave mission after the Thai government asked for help. Nevertheless, critics on social media went on the attack, with some comparing the situation to Trump's controversial policy of separating undocumented kids from their parents at the border. One person wrote, quote, "When the president cares more about a team of Thai kids instead of children on his own soil," end quote. And someone else tweeted, quote, "Once you are done with that, get those kids out of cages in Texas as well." Meanwhile, others blame Trump for trying to take credit amid news that at least 4 boys had been successfully pulled out of the cave.
Okay. All right. Out of the Miami Herald. The United States government has long reserved its power to revoke citizenship for the rarest of cases, going after the likes of war criminals, child rapists, and terrorist funders. Norma Borgono is none of those. The 63-year-old secretary, who immigrated from Peru in 1989, volunteers weekly at church, raised 2 children on a $500 a week salary, and suffers from a rare kidney disorder. But a week after her baby granddaughter came home from the hospital, Borgono receives a letter from the U.S. government. The Department of Justice was suing to denaturalize her as part of an unprecedented push by the Trump administration to revoke citizenship from people who committed criminal offenses before they became citizens. And I quote, "I don't know what's going to happen if she goes to Peru," said her daughter, Erpi Rios. "We have nothing there." End of quote. Orgono, a Miami resident for 28 years, is being targeted based on her minor role in a $24 million fraud scheme in the previous decade. As the secretary of an export company called Texon Inc., she prepared paperwork for her boss, who pocketed money from doctored loan applications filed with the U.S. Export Import Bank. When the feds caught wind of the scheme, Wargona cooperated. The secretary never made any money beyond her regular salary and helped the FBI make a case that put her former boss behind bars for 4 years. On May 17, 2012, Wargona took a plea deal and was sentenced to 1 year of house arrest, 4 years of probation, and $5,000 of restitution. Working two jobs, she paid off her restitution and was relieved of her sentence early. 2 years after she put it all behind her, Borgona received the letter notifying her that the U.S. government wanted to take away her citizenship. The stated reason was that Borgona became a U.S. citizen after the fraud scheme started. Although she had not yet been charged, when she applied for citizenship, the Department of Justice is now arguing that she lied by not divulging her criminal activity on her application. Bouncing her 3-month-old daughter on her lap, Rios said the family was shocked by the letter. They had no idea this kind of case was even possible.
All right. Trump's trade war has its first victims in the U.S. and China. Here's who they are. China's retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods struck just as one of its biggest meat importers was rushing a shipment from California through Shanghai customs. Now, Suzhou Hodog Foods is saddled with a stack of unaffordable American steak. Only 3 containers of frozen produce, including prime rib and pork loin, came through before the new levy slapped as much as $500,000 yuan, $75,000 US on each of the remaining half dozen crates, according to Gong Ping, the importer's general manager. Quote, "We have no choice. We have to eat the cost," Gong said, end quote. In an interview, "We are guaranteed to dramatically lower our purchases of meat from American ranchers, triggering what China calls the largest trade war in economic history." The U.S. on July 6 imposed a 25% duty on $34 billion of Chinese imports. Beijing immediately responded with tariffs on U.S. soybeans, meat, and vehicles. Suzhou Hodog, which supplies supermarkets such as Walmart, Sam's Club in China, is just one of the early victims. For automobiles and whiskey makers, to companies along the complex global supply chain that defines modern manufacturing, it is a moment of reckoning as they grapple with higher costs and whiplashes from some of the earlier business decisions.
Continuing with the news, out of Kingston, Jamaica. Reed rejects PNP claims of misuse of funds in Northwest St. Anne. Okay. All right. Education Minister Senator Royal Reid has rejected claims from the People's National Party, the PNP, that his recent monetary pledges to schools in the St. Anne Northwestern constituency is to gain political advantage as the Jamaica Labour Party's, the JLP, representative for the constituency in the next general elections. The opposition party yesterday issued a release claiming that there was unabated evidence that Reid was making unfair pledges of monetary contribution to schools in the constituency and called on the Auditor General to investigate the matter and ensure that funds allocated to education are not surreptitiously diverted for political campaign purposes. And I quote, the PNP has taken note with grave concern of certain pledges and commitments made to some schools in northwestern St. Anne by the Minister of Education and Youth, Senator the Honorable Royal Reid, during a recent visit to attend graduation exercises of schools in the area, end quote. The party claimed that Reid was promised 3.1 million Jamaican dollars to each of 7 primary schools he visited in the constituency and a further 20 million Jamaican dollars to 2 high schools for a potpourri of activities. The PNP said while it had no problem with schools receiving additional financial assistance, we are concerned that Senator Reid has committed a total of 61 million Jamaican dollars to 9 schools in Northwest St. Anne, where he will be the JLP candidate against the incumbent Member of Parliament, Dr. Dayton Campbell. However, Reid told the Observer Online that the opposition's claim were silly and insisted that the monies pledged were a part of an existing comprehensive critical repairs program geared towards repairing and upgrading school infrastructure across the island. The minister also shared a document with Observer Online outlining that more than $80 million was spent between 2017 and 2018 on upgrading school facilities across the island. Okay.
Okay.
we have
news.
Yes. News.
Yes.
Now,
I tell you, I can't help but think about the corruption in Jamaican politics.
mhm,
As you read that last article there, lady,
yes. Mhm.
Senator Royal Reid, they want to pretend as if people are stupid.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
when he's going to be running for that seat, and all of a sudden he's spending millions of dollars
Mhm.
in that seat, and we ought not to look at it and say, "Hold on a minute, why is it?" You know, and this is the thing that I can't understand with Jamaican politics. When will we ever stop this nonsense? You know, the last election, the last by-election in St. Mary, there was a whole lot of money spent on bushing and all kinds of things.
Yes.
And after the election, we found out that there's some electrical lighting that wasn't supposed to be there. Money was spent to put
For
it up,
it.
and all kinds of corruption. You know,
Yeah, the
when are we going to
allocation.
stop this nonsense in
Mhm.
Jamaica?
We have an allocation problem. It's a fault.
Mm.
Hmm. So,
Because these guys, I think I don't know. I don't know how they are going to prevent this kind of thing from happening, because these members of parliament, how do they get these monies to spend in these areas? I don't get it.
I am not sure if the analysis is done for things that are needed, not what you want, but what you need.
Mhm.
So if it is tabled that you need roads to be repaired, monies to be allocated to schools, where the schools are located, what the needs for the schools are,
Mhm.
in addition to other things that are presented. I'm not sure there's a critical eye that is present at the table across the board with all the educated people that are seated at any table to deliberate how the monies ought to be spent, where, how, why, when. But there is a
Mhm.
critical eye that is missing, because just like how when you're planning anything, there's a logistical component that needs to be applied, which is a step by step by step. And why? Who is given more priority? So if the schools are supposed to be given X amount of money, if the whole allocation process, where people don't just have the autonomy to say, well, this school don't really need much, so use it by chalk, or use it, go fix something up north, wherever north would be there. Then that's what we're gonna have. And then it reaches to the point where it becomes public knowledge, and other learned people are there having to criticize, like we are having a discussion about it today, to say then, how come? Why? And we keep saying it. Why is it each time we have to have this kind of problem? It's because everybody believes that they have the autonomy to do what they feel like doing.
Yes.
And so at the end of the day, this is what you have. And we're here still screaming that we're getting out of the IMF scenario, because we know any loan you get, you have to pay back. And if you're not finished pay it back in time, more loan going to come and you still have to. So it keeps building and building and building. So just like anything else, they have to try and do better. And no matter how they appoint people into offices, there's always a breakdown. The continuum is almost frightening.
Yes. Yeah, it's a problem, and that is why Jamaica.
Hello.
Good evening, Lady T and your guest.
Oh,
how are you?
Young lady, do me a favor. Please call me back in seconds, if you don't mind. I think I mistakenly disconnected Chris. I should have.
Oh boy!
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yes. So call me back. All right. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go here.
Stay in power to
Chris,
do whatever they need to do.
Chris?
Yes.
If you have the memory of I'm not sure what now, you're gonna have to do a quick recap, because I mistakenly picked up a call and then you were muted.
Ah.
Right. So if you don't mind.
Well, that's right. That's all right.
Mm-hmm. So you were about to, talk about, you were explaining your position.
Yeah, as I was saying, this we don't know what we are going to do to get out of this situation. If we have a call, we can go to a call,
No, that's all right. They'll call me back.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. No problem. Yeah, that's what I was saying. If Jamaica, successive governments have been doing this over the years, and that is why Jamaica is in the situation that the country is in. And everybody who is running for something, they come and they spend this whole heap of money to show and to boost their support in whichever area they are working, to get elected. And then after election,
that's it.
The people, they don't see them again. It just goes back to business as usual. Absolutely. Neglect and nobody cares.
Yes. We have a call online. Good afternoon. Welcome to Keeping You in the Know.
Yes, Lady D and your guest, good evening.
Hey, young lady. How are you?
Good evening.
That's young lady.
Evening,
that's young lady, Chris.
I always get the juicy parts whenever I reach it.
Right.
You hit a subject there, Lady D, where I spoke to you. I'm jogging your memory, where we were talking about the police stations and the school, how lapidated they were, and that was before before this government came in.
Right.
And as the news was read there, where you said it says that with this man here, he's using that's my opinion. He's using the money at least to fix the schools and, whatever. Because I've been into the police stations, they've full cube, both inside and outside, all of them. And if he's using, I don't say it's right, but if he's using money to put there, it's better. I remember when Manley Regine, and I was young, I'm old, I'm 90-year-old now. And I remember a guy living in my parents' house in Kingston. He used to drive a Jolly. And he has a contract. This has been going back for years, where the different parties, that's how they throw, And he used to get contracts. Ask him how much cement goes with how much sand to mix a mortar. He couldn't tell you.
Right.
But he's working with a Jolly, and he has contracts as a builder, whatever, for the government that was out. So this has been going on for years, and if they're using the money now to do something sensible, like the schools, and not going into the pocket of some people that doesn't deserve it, I don't see the reason why the big stink about it, because the party that's squealing now. What about the how much million that was donated from some other country? We don't know about it because the former prime minister want no jury or nothing. We don't hear anything more about that case. We didn't know about that money either.
Yeah.
So what is really going on?
There's corruption on both sides.
Corruption.
Yeah, there's corruption on both sides of the aisle, and my take on the situation is that because one party does it doesn't necessarily mean that the other party should. And I do understand what you're saying, that it is going for good use, which is, it's good in a sense, but I would just like to see more transparency where these monies are being spent. It's not being spent because you want to get elected, so you're showing that you are working. We don't want that kind of politics. We want to get away from that kind of politics. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if we should start doing what we're supposed to do by nipping the government, don't care what government, whether PNP, QLP, whatever P's, in power in Jamaica. You see what's happening now? They're taking away people's citizenship. So the lady there on the news where she committed some crime before she did do citizenship. Now they revoke. We don't know what will happen. We have to restore back home.
Why don't we all just decide to go back home and build our country? Why don't we all start thinking about that? With the skills that we all acquire while we are living here, why don't we form a group, and all of us just decide that, all right, listen, since as they don't want us in England, they don't want us in Canada, they don't want us in America, let us all go back with all the little monies that we save up and all the skills that we acquire. Just go back and build Jamaica. Maybe that would be something.
Can I say something?
I'm in your ballpark. Now you're talking business.
No.
I'll sit and listen.
All right. You know something, Chris? There's a big spin-off to that. Did you know that Jamaicans in Jamaica have developed almost like a resistance toward some people who have come to this country, gotten degrees, are excelling in their respective backgrounds, decide to go home. And then when they go there and they are placed in certain positions, it is believed by those people in Jamaica that they come over here, come study and live for how many years and come back home and go on like they know more than them. And
that's true.
Yes, and you have that. Now, whether or not they return as snobs, But that aside, in this country, we have learned to work with so many different kinds of people. It's almost like some things just go over your head because you see it, but you know that you have to do what you have to do in order to
Yes.
get to where you want to go. But that's
Mhm.
not how they think in Jamaica, So
I think that if something like this was to happen, there would have to be an educational campaign.
Papi show.
Some form of I'm serious. Some form of because I do understand and I share your sentiments. You are absolutely correct. But I still do believe that if the government decide to push some form of campaign to educate people or to reassure them that listen, these people are coming home. They're not coming home to take your jobs, or they're not coming home to show off, but they're coming home to help to build the economy and to help the country. I'm quite sure that over time they would accept it, and people would probably just move on.
Move on.
But yeah, you're right. It would probably take some effort.
It would take, yes, it would. 914-600-4228. Be a part of the discussion with us this afternoon here, keeping you in the know. Inside the Zone with Lady D, brought to you by Vision World Realty, 102-28 Jamaica Avenue, Richmond Hill, New York, Florida's hottest real estate market. Let's jump over to another telephone call here. Good afternoon. Welcome to Keeping You in the Know.
Good afternoon, Lady B.
Good afternoon to you, Gloria.
Good
Gloria.
afternoon, Mr. Wilby.
How are you, madam?
I am good, thank God.
Good to hear you.
Yes. You know what, Lady B? Some of the people there that don't want to work, I don't know if it's the Portuguese or whoever, it would create a problem because it's like they have a way of saying we go abroad when things went down. So we come back now that things, I don't know, they'd have to get a whole new book, lesson, everything from A to Z.
I like that.
Yeah, because most time anybody go out there and want to settle, you know what is taking place.
Uh-huh.
I mean, maybe if somebody would have employed them or thing like that, it turns you off. You are here because I love to go home. I'd have to go ask you, Mr. Wilby, to help me with some money.
Right.
I'd love to go home. It's so nice there.
Chris, you hear that though?
No, I didn't hear that at all.
Yeah.
I have clicked.
It's so nice there, and I would love to go home. My daughter said she would at one point to go home to teach at the school that I went to.
Yeah.
But then, whatever is taking place out there deter her from that.
Yes. And
change her mind, and I came after her, so we have to change my little mind too. I don't mind going, but
yeah.
it's tough, any way you take it.
Let's play devil's advocate though, Gloria.
Yes,
What
sir.
if? Because remember now, they're going after citizens now,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, so what if
Yes.
you lose your citizenship and they decide to send you home? I mean, things like this, because, I was discussing this on my radio show, and it sounds far-fetched. And a lot of us aren't really taking it seriously because we always believe that it's not going to happen to me. It is going to happen
To the next
probably
person.
to my next door neighbor or probably to some other immigrant that I don't know.
Yes.
And then when it comes knocking, then that is the time when we start to think about it and we are like, oh my God, I can't believe that this is happening to me.
Mhm.
So, I'm like, what happens
to
when we get deported? You lose your citizenship and you decide to that why you don't have a choice. You have to go back home.
Well, my district, as far as I know, I lived in Kingston for a while, and these children though they were born under the clock, but I was born under the clock in Trelawney. So I would have to leave the clock in Kingston. I have to go home to
You know, I think that we all have to start conditioning our minds, you know, to going back home, whether we like it or not. We have to start at least
I
thinking
don't
about
mind it. So you and Lady can start making a little purse for me, and I'll go to the district, not to the town part. I'll go to the district. I heard that my district is calm.
Okay.
So I'll
a country
go
girl.
here.
You're a country girl like me. I'm a country boy.
Well, I spent a lot of years in Kingston, but I'd have to resort to country because I hear that the country part is very calm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's safer.
So I go
Nowhere
to
else.
Trelawney and I'll go to the hills there and I'll, you know, try and make myself comfortable. But I don't mind going home. But I mean, when you hear certain things, that's what bothers.
Yes,
you know.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
you work hard and you want to go home and go relax a little, go from point A and point B, and you have to be looking over your shoulder. You know.
And then after years of living here and not have to be looking over your shoulder, it's gonna be difficult.
It'll be stressful.
In this cold, you go home now to enjoy a little sunshine and things like that. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel right to me, and that is what really bothers me. Anyway,
Thank
nice
you.
program as usual.
Thank you.
I love the festival songs, all of them, especially the one that the Christian one that
Escarpment
that
Road.
didn't enter.
Yes, yes.
That one is so nice.
It is. It is.
Okay, then.
All right.
Let me leave. Let me.
That's okay. Thank
get off
you.
and let somebody else get a chance.
Thank you, dear.
Okay, bye.
914-600-4228. 914-600-4228. What are your thoughts on the headlines that Chris Wilby and yours truly, Lady D, have been talking about this afternoon? We are at citizenship. We've discussed allocation of funds in the education system in Jamaica. Now we are wondering if they will take us back if we're too bright.
You're coming here with a show of self.
We might as well. But interestingly, you know, can I divert a little bit, not too far from the topic at hand? It was just yesterday. My church is heavily involved in missions and outreach and all that. So they're going to Jamaica, into Little London. But my pastor, with his wise self, decided to have a little pep point, some pep pointers for the team. And he reminded them, because based on observation, I presume, right? We once lived in Jamaica. Some of us are from the deep rural, some not from the rural, some from the city, right? And things for some were very difficult, as for others, not so, right? But he reminded them, what I wanted to laugh at, but since everybody was seemingly so attentive to his presentation, because he said, remember one time, you know, if you know have straight pretty hair, it did mappy and you know even break comb. But now you're over here and you've had to blow up the hair and you know things that happen for you. Or there was a time when you know you used to walk barefooted too, but now you have 50 pair of shoes. And so he just walked everybody through to say, listen, when you are on the ground with the children, handing out whatever they have to hand out, even if some of them don't smell good, even if some of them don't have on a shoe, even if it's hot, because you once lived in Jamaica where it was just heat, invariably did you know anything about AC, right? Just sup it up, do what you have to do, because when you're doing missions, it's a great inconvenience. If you're not ready to be inconvenienced, you don't need to be on missions team.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
And so I go back to the point that if we decide to return home, right, and people are not as welcoming, we have to remember that there was a time when we were there too. We were not as welcoming either. Because when you see people coming into the road work, see they're giving the Chinese one devil of a time, right?
Yes.
We're complaining about the Chinese, how they might take over Jamaica. And there was a time when they came to Jamaica, it was so difficult for them to be accepted in the society. But they stuck with it, and they are still there. And you cannot flack the people if you want people to work. Check the Asian people, check the Chinese people, check some of the Indians, and I'm talking now Indians from across the board, whether you come from Sri Lanka or wherever. But they will work and work hard. So where do we break it even? If we give people work in Jamaica, Chris, by the time them pinch it to everybody, and nobody who they pinch it to have skill. All they know is that they put on little sand, cement, and rub it over, and you drive over it and the whole light pop down. You know, that's how we roll. Me get a thing and then
exactly.
I go and share it with some of my people.
It's amazing. I was watching on social media a member of parliament. I'm not going to name who the person is right now. I'm not here to shame the person, but they were fixing roads in the constituency. And I was looking at it and I was like, oh my God, this is what they're fixing. And people from Jamaica, they're hailing them and they're saying, wow, great job and looking good and whatever. And believe you me, Lady D, I looked on what they were putting down and I'm like, then after a good shower rain come, they're not going to have any more road.
My point, exactly.
You know, because they were there and you could see that they just put a little bit of sand. And then they had some little black thing that they call that. It's not even, I wouldn't even call it tar. I don't know what it is, but they have some little black thing that they just, it's like black gravel that they're just spreading on top of it to make it look nice. And then they're going to get the roller to roll over it and it's going to look smooth and nice for a few days.
Yeah.
And then after the rain comes, then we're going back to square one. So, and this is why we need to take the politicians out of these things, where you have these members of parliament who are directing what is going on in the constituency. You don't need to have the members of parliament directing anything, because
so
what is going to happen is going to, as you say, you're just going to have someone from their side who they're going to give some contract and they come out and push to a shovel.
Right.
And next thing you know that the money is all spent and nothing is happening. Next 2 years, we come back to square one. The same people in the constituency are going to come back and say, what happened to the roads? And the same one got some I don't know what kind of road they got a couple of years ago.
Yes.
So what we need is to have some form of strategic planning for the long term, where we bring in the professionals who can do the job correctly, that the job will last for a very long time. We do not have that in Jamaica.
Let's run to the phone line. Good afternoon.
It's Megan, Lady D. Your guest there,
Mr. Wilby.
Did he notice how that individual hold the shovel? The way how he held the shovel should show you that he doesn't know night from day. Just like what I said before, this guy never know how much cement to go with how much sand.
Right.
The way how that individual did hold the shovel. I know, I saw it, and I was laughing too. So I know what he's saying.
Right.
I saw this thing. But, you know, in Jamaica, it's here too. The the mind our concept, that mind thing, because I remember being in Jamaica last year, and I heard somebody on Linkage Radio was saying, don't go back to Jamaica and blah, blah, blah. The same place where that person was talking about. I was telling somebody today about it, where I was there for a week, and my girlfriend have her door, leave all the door open. We went to Kingston, we went all over the place all day. At night, the room I was in, the window, I said, oh no, please come and close this window. I am not sleeping with this window, because that's the mindset I got from here, that, so much things going on there, and, so when you prove things for yourself, it makes a difference.
Yes.
It makes a difference. And as we said, I said that on this radio before, if we should start pressure the government, I don't care what government is in, when we start pressure the government of Jamaica to get off them bottom and do the right thing, we have enough power that we can have things done in Jamaica without I just, because sometimes it just makes me get very ignorant when I go home and certain things that I notice, and I travel other places and see things that I compare with Jamaica. It just blow me off. It just blow me off. Work in the working field out there, when you guys mention about what they would say and what they will not say, they do it here too. When certain Jamaicans, you get them on the job here, see them on the job, is like they come from Mars. And sometimes when I look at some of them, I know where they're coming from, and sure enough, they never live nowhere like me. Until you come and you get little education and all of the above, you go and compact style. It's a concept that we have. And until we start to break, everywhere we go, you go to England, you see them the same way. Canada, Canada now, a lot of Jamaicans holding posts in Canada.
Yes.
But everywhere we go, we have that mentality where we figure like we are in charge.
Yes.
Even when we are not in charge, and until we get off that thing. But we have to start think about home. And Lady B, you have you have the whatever you call it there, because millions, everybody listening to you. It's time now we start to pressure the government, because we never know. It might be your friend, your very close friend. You didn't know that they have a background. Something happened before you knew that person, and you know them as a citizen. And bingo, they sent them back home.
Yes.
So we have to start. That's our country, and people going into Jamaica now, buying up Jamaica like nothing. We're running from there, and people buying up out there. They're selling all houses that don't belong to them. You understand? So we have to get to the mindset. Let's
houses that don't belong to them. I don't want to be a part of that one at all.
No, they don't belong to. Look on the realtor. That they rearrested her last week too. Come more people keep coming on board. So she don't have the houses. She sold houses to a Nevada or whoever, one of those singers there or whatever. She didn't have a house to sell. Those houses were not for sale.
Yes.
So we have to, right now, I heard somebody have my house up for sale. I was laughing the lie. I said, it's not a joke thing.
Oh, Lord.
For 37. No, it's a real thing. And I said, I was laughing when I contacted her to tell her as soon as the person called me. And she said, it's not a laughing matter. It's a very serious matter. So you don't have a house, but you sell your house.
I would like you to, because one of the things that is hampering Jamaica's progress, or that has hampered Jamaica over the years, is corruption, the cost of corruption. And Jamaica is a very corrupt country from the head right down. And everybody believed that they must be hustling off of something. You know, from the government come right down to the little man on the street. And I would like people to go on YouTube and to look up the cost of corruption and watch that documentary. And you will see exactly what I'm talking about, the millions and millions of dollars that has been wasted. And that is why Jamaica is in the situation that it is in. The governments of Jamaica, successive governments, have wasted millions and millions of dollars, and it is costing Jamaica dearly.
And as you said, this has been going on for years, because when I was going, I remember Dudley Thompson. And when how much money it was he wasted, stole, and then he got out the country. You understand? So it has been going on for a long time. I don't care about party because I still have to pay my way out there. So if you go there, I know you have to pay for your tax and you have to pay for where you live, and if you go to the store and whatever. So you still have to pay your way. So you don't care what party is about. But we want the things done proper, where the government takes, all the governments, any government in charge, take responsibility.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Liam Lady.
All right.
Thank you, madam.
Thank
All
you.
right, sir.
All right. Keeping you in the know, inside the zone with Lady D, Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7, Sign FM 88.9, and Fever FM 97.7. We are talking this afternoon about immigration and the citizenship. It's almost becoming a catastrophic situation, because now there are people, I'm absolutely sure, who are shaking because they fear that whatever they did in the past is going to resurface. And we wonder, why is it that you would go to such length? But then I am not prepared at this time to wrap my head around the process. I'm very, very concerned, but I can't even stretch my mind's imagination to perceive why they would have wanted to do this. Because everybody initially when, the euphoria was centered around, you don't have no green card and all kind of something. And then the people who are citizens felt comfortable.
Yes.
They're concerned, but they feel they were comfortable. Concerned about those and felt comfortable. But no, here you have this. Unless they are going after people who have committed some really serious crimes, and it just went by.
It is, in my opinion, it is a cleansing. It is. Some people don't really want to say it, but as far as I see it, it is nothing short of an ethnic cleansing. And here is my rationale. If you think about it, a person who's been in this country for 25, 30 years, that person has built a life here. And when you strip that person of the citizenship, I was trying to think about it. And I'm like, okay, so what is going to happen? Is it that if I, quote unquote, did something wrong, I got married and sponsored somebody who came into the country, is that person going to be affected? Are they not going to go after that person and say, okay, you should not have been in the country because the person who sponsored you should not have sponsored you because he was technically not a U.S. citizen.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I don't know where this is going.
Yeah, that's why I say I don't know how to wrap my head around it, the rationale.
And then it is going to be like a domino effect. And then those persons who you sponsor, they sponsor other people and they have
Yes.
family and whatever. When you realize before you know it, a whole generation of people are losing their citizenship. And then it's going to become this thing like what happened in Britain. Where the generation, what do you call it?
Yes.
That we're discussing the other day.
Yes.
It is very serious, and I hate to be sounding the alarm, and as I say this morning on my radio show, being chicken little, but I really do believe that the sky is falling, so people ought to wake up and at least start thinking about it. I'm not saying that people ought to be worried, but I think people ought to start looking into their situations and start thinking differently, because no immigrant, none, is safe in this country right now. Doesn't matter what year you came here. Doesn't matter your status. No immigrant is safe right now. Because if they decide to come after you, they're going to come after you.
Yes. I tell you.
With that being said, let me just read. I know we only have about 5 minutes. Let me just read this article here real quickly. San Diego. Jorge Ramirez, an Oceanside minister and immigrant in the country illegally, didn't think he would end up in line for deportation when he encouraged his daughter, a U.S. citizen, to vote for Donald Trump. In line with his conservative religious beliefs, Ramirez considers himself a Republican. He said in an interview at Otay Mesa Detention Center, where he is awaiting deportation proceedings. Border Patrol picked him up after staking out his house early one May morning, and he's been in the detention facility since. Ramirez said he does not know why he is being targeted for removal from the U.S. The Trump administration has said that it is targeting criminals and those who have already been ordered deported. Ramirez said he falls into neither category. Trump said, let's take all the good guys out. Let's keep all the good people here, rather, and all the bad people out, Ramirez said. That's great, but I'm here, Ramirez said of his detention situation. If I'm here, anybody can be here. I'm not saying I'm the best person in the world, but I've tried to live a good life. Ramirez worked as a satellite television technician and frequently went to Camp Pendleton. Issues with his security clearance brought him to the detention authorities in December. He said he supports the Republican agenda on fiscal and social issues and that he still supports President Trump. Yeah. There you have it.
Rough times.
There's a lot going on in this country that,
Rough times.
It has a lot of people in fear and people are just stressing left, right, and center. Apart from the day-to-day stress that you have to go through to survive, this is like an added stress that people now have to go through on a daily basis.
Yeah. Well, we're wrapping up, ladies and gentlemen, but certainly it has been an informative afternoon. For those of you who are always tuned in and you are paying attention, you're making notes, I've come to understand the audience over the years. And while many might not want to call in and to express themselves and so on, but you do listen, and we appreciate you for that. Times have changed, and change is transitional. And so we have transitioned from the good times into the
uncertain times.
Uncertain times. The uncertainty is overwhelming. And one wonders, what tomorrow brings. But I just say, keep living. Keep doing what you're doing. And if you have concerns, those of you who have, I believe, have acquired your citizenship, and there is something there, you can also go get some legal advice if you so choose to. And, see where you stand. So, Chris, your closing sentence?
Yes, I just want to say to people, be strong. Don't let it overwhelm you too much. However, be vigilant. You know, don't let things catch you flat-footed. You know, start looking into your situation, whether here or at home in Jamaica, to see, you know, what is what. And I would start encouraging people who have not had a foundation in Jamaica to start at least thinking about it. You know, whether you're a citizen, whether you are young or you're middle age or whatever, start thinking about building a foundation back in Jamaica. If it's even a one-room tattoo, you know, something that you can go lay your head in case, just in case.
Just in case. Thank you, Chris.
All right.
Enjoy your Monday
Lady D,
evening.
thank you all the listeners who participated, who listened in, who called in. Have yourselves a great evening, and we catch up with you next week, same time, same place.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Ladies
All
and
right,
gentlemen, this has been Inside the Zone with Lady D, the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. I had a great time this afternoon. Hope you did too. And I just want to remind everyone that the show was brought to you by Cooler Runnings, Jamaican Restaurant, and World Vision Realty. The connecting partners this afternoon, Sign FM 88.9, Uncle Howie Radio, Fever FM 97.7. I will be back on Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. with Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. As always, love yourselves, love your children, and remember, in everything you do, it is the will of God concerning your life. Blessings, everyone. I am out of here.
Somebody celebrate Jesus! The best music for your listening pleasure.
Yeah, man, Sanchez, keep it locked. Linkage.
There are radio stations within the air, but to this, none can compare. Trying to figure what to think, because now with us, you're fully linked. Stay linked to Linkage Radio, your home for entertainment.
This station rules the nation. Pinky Lou, me pants them not tight up on me like a use. Pinky Lou, me pants them not tight up on me like a use. Cause, you know, the other day my wife used to go to Citywide.